with the assent of the Government-Owned Enterprise Bill 2025, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2025. This landmark legislation ushers in a transformative era in the governance of state corporations by providing for the comprehensive restructuring of commercial state corporations and reinforcing their governance architecture in alignment with established best practices in corporate governance. Sir, to understand this strengthened governance framework, all independent board members will henceforth be appointed through a transparent and competitive process. The bill further establishes a rigorous procedure for establishment of government-owned enterprises with provisions that enhance their corporate governance and performance management to safeguard their long-term sustainability. These reforms are part of a broad national effort to modernize and professionalize state-owned enterprises, improve economic efficiency, and restore public trust in public assets management. Your Excellency, sir, with both houses of Parliament having dutifully discharged their legislative mandate, it is now my distinct honor and high privilege to petition Your Excellency as the head of state and government to graciously exercise the powers conferred upon you under Article 115 of the Constitution and assent to these 4 bills. Your Excellency, sir, with your kind permission, I seek your indulgence to invite the Clerk of the Senate to present the vellum copies of the Senate bill for your consideration and assent.
Allocations will be transferred to the respective county revenue funds in accordance with the payment schedule to be published by the CS of the Treasury in accordance with Section 17 of the PFM Act. Within 30 days after the end of every quarter, the CS Treasury should publish a report on the funds actually transferred to the counties. Your Excellency, I've been honored to present the bill.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nyekenya.
Your Excellency, I have
Good morning, Mr. Clerk.
Good morning, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, I have the instructions of the Speaker of the National Assembly to place before you 3 vellum copies for your assent. The first one is a Capital Markets Amendment Bill, which was a bill that was introduced in the National Assembly by the leader of Majority Party, having gone through the Cabinet. That bill, Your Excellency, is one of those that the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury undertook to bring to Parliament when he was reading the budget in June last year.
Correct.
The bill, Your Excellency, is one of those that is implementing the objectives of the government and Parliament to make doing business in Kenya easy. Under the current Section 29 of the Capital Markets Act, is a requirement that the shareholding for different players under capital markets, that is stock brokers and investment banks, that the shareholdings are limited by law. Now Parliament decided, for purposes of flexibility and making Kenya more competitive, should give those powers, delegate those powers to the Cabinet Secretary, so that those decisions are made on flexible basis and to reflect the global markets, so as to attract more investments in the Republic of Kenya. The bill is short, Your Excellency, and it provides that it will come into force after 14 days following its assent. Your Excellency, the second bill to come before you is a small one. It's a Provisional Collection of Taxes Repeal Bill. Sometime in the year 2017, Mr. Omutata then petitioned Parliament to remove a key clause from its statute books, including this law. He argued before Parliament that that law was taking away the powers of Parliament. Parliament delayed in actualizing his decision. Therefore, he approached the courts, and he was able to convince courts that that law is indeed unconstitutional, since it was allowing the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, the moment he announces the taxation measures in June, they were becoming law as if the tax law has been passed by Parliament. The court agreed with him that that was taking away the powers of Parliament, and indeed against the Constitution of Kenya 2010. So in 2019, the court ruled, Parliament did not appeal, the Attorney General at the time did not appeal, neither did the National Treasury. Therefore, the law was declared unconstitutional, but continues to stay moot in our law books. So the decision of the Cabinet was to ask Parliament to remove it from our law books by repealing it. And that is what is before you today. Simply a cleanup of our law book. The last one, Your Excellency, is a government-owned enterprises bill, the GOE Bill 2025. This bill was introduced in the National Assembly by the leader of the Majority Party, having been received from the Cabinet through the Office of the Attorney General. The bill, Your Excellency, introduces new ways in which the government will be making investments in its own entities. It provides for, number one, for a public entity for a government-owned enterprise to be created, there must be a business logic behind it. It must be able to run on its own without being funded by the exchequer. It must be able to run on its own without asking for more money from the taxpayers. The bill also provides, Your Excellency, that there is a list of 65 hitherto state corporations and another 18 which will henceforth be registered under the Companies Act as government enterprises, and they be reformed in accordance with this law. The idea is to streamline the commercial operations of all government enterprises so that it makes commercial sense to the people of Kenya.
This is the law that was originally spearheaded by what was that member of parliament for Mandera? Abdikadir.
Yes. Abdikadir, yes.
Abdikadir.
Yes.
That was which year? 2014. Yes. So it's been doing the round.
Yes, since 2014, there was that proposal that came from the task force chaired by the then member for Mandera, Abdikadir, who came to State House as an advisor. It has been going round, and the idea was partly to amalgamate some of them and also to come up with the government enterprises vehicle.
Correct.
So that these entities have to make sense. It specifies the 65 existing corporations and another additional 18 that currently carry out commercial activities. This includes the Agriculture Finance Corporation, the Kenya Airports Authority, the Post Bank, Postal Corporation, amongst others, Your Excellency. The bill provides for enhanced corporate